Federalism seems like both a simple and a dull concept, and I can see you all yawning right now as you're thinking about it. Federalism is simply a formula, and it stipulates that certain powers are going to be held by a central government. Here in the U.S., we call that central government the national government, the federal government. Those terms are used synonymously. And other powers are left to the subnational units, in our case states and cities, and sometimes counties. It seems fairly simple. It seems to be just a system of shared powers that allow for the everyday governance of American life. It's not so simple to implement. Much of the Federalist arrangement today involves the transfer of funds from the federal government to the state government down to the city, and states and cities have a lot to say about how that money is spent. Some states are more generous with social programs, others are less generous. Some states will pour money into police forces, other states might pour money into something else. But here's a question, and I want to be frank here. I love sports. I love them a great deal. But I've always wondered if it's an appropriate use of government money to build a new football stadium or baseball stadium or hockey arena. It seems to me difficult to justify. Here in Detroit, for instance, there's a plan on the table for a new arena for the Red Wings. More power to them. But really, it's hard to look at the news and see school buildings crumbling, streets literally rutted and torn up, to see health care so badly distributed in so many cases, and yet we're talking about a new palace for professional hockey players to go out and literally entertain folks who can afford to buy expensive tickets. Don't get me wrong, I don't have a gripe with the NHL, and I don't have a gripe with the owners of the teams or the players themselves. Everybody's got a right to ply their trade. But I do wonder, what is it about an arrangement that allows us to take badly needed money and build Ford Field and Comerica Park and now possibly yet another Red Wings arena when there are other pressing social needs? Federalism is just a formula. It's the implementation of that formula, I think, that poses the more interesting questions.